Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the Volvo V90 Cross Country. Before we get into this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 23 around town and then 29 on the highway, with power outputs being 295 horsepower and then 310 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see flat there in the center, and then you do have those really distinct boxy lines on either side. And then we have the Thor's Hammer daytime running light, which is on every single Volvo. We've got fog lights down below, and then I like how the grille is not massive like you have on a lot of other modern cars, but it still looks nice. And putting it all together, it has that signature Volvo front end. Now around the side here, our time wheel setup is 245/40/21 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see with the wheels, you've got the silver with the darker element, pretty common thing. And then with this Cross Country, you've got these big fender flares. They actually are painted, so it's not just exposed plastic. And then you can see we've got more trim there. It says Cross Country on the side. And then here is your full side view with the Cross Country. And then taking a look at the key fob, you guys can see the Volvo logo. We've got our lock and unlock function. We also have the opening here for the hatch. So we've got this cargo cover built in from the factory, and then tons of storage space in the back. This is a big benefit of the V90. And then we've got a little charging port there in the back. But yeah, you still get like SUV levels of practicality with this, but it's not nearly as high off the ground. Anyways, when you're all done, you just press that and I'll lower the hatch right back down. Got the cool bow taillight design here on the back. Then you have your B6 badge here, and then all the rest of the badging. And then again, Cross Country there at the bottom. So putting it all together, it has that, signature station wagon look, which I think is a pretty cool design. And then taking a look at the door panel, you can see soft touch here at the top. We do have a sunshade for the rear passengers, and then wood trim. And then I like the brown coloration. Speaker for the Bowers and Wilkins sound system. And then again, nice trim all over these seats. And they even made this soft touch here on the side. It's not as soft as the seats, but still, it's nice. Legroom here in the back is really good. We've got a little storage net. We've got our climate zone back here, heated seats. We've got a vent. We've got a little charging port there as well. And then we do, of course, have a cup holder armrest. Can't ever go without that. And then headroom. It's good. Now, taking a look at the front door panel, again, you can see all the soft touch trim and then the wood trim down below. Got all of our window controls here with our mirror adjustments. Get your memory seat function here. Again, speaker for the sound system. Blind spot running with the mirrors too. And with the front seats, they're very similar to the back, except they do have the perforations here. Here's a kind of a better look at that with the leather. All of your adjustments on the side, and then we have that to open up the hatch, and then again, nice trim on the dash. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we got soft touch all around. You got practical controls on the front for like the center. You got adaptive cruise control as well, and then your regular stocks there on the back. And then we've got this digital gauge cluster in the center. You can show a nav screen there in the center as well. But yeah, it gives you basic vehicle information like how much range you have left, for example. In reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. It's a 360 camera, so you can change what angle you see out of, and really good resolution overall. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time's quick, it's easy to use. You can see we can control the heated and ventilated seats. We also have our dual zone climate. And then another cool thing with this is when you pop into the driving tab, you got an off-road mode as well. Nice trim on the dash. We also have a heads-up display, but yeah, that continues. And then we got more of the wood trim across the dash here. Pretty big glove box. Got some physical buttons in this area. Crystal shifter here for the 8-speed. And then you can see we've got the wood trim, and then this also extends out as well. 12 volt there. We've got the engine stop start, and then you can see parking brake and auto hold, and then again more of that nice trim with the center console. And then we just have a darker colored headliner, and then we do have a big panoramic center pin. It's got the cool slider where you just slide your finger to open it. So here's our window sticker for the Cross Country. You guys can see lots of standard equipment, but we do have quite a few options on this as well. And this one's an Ultimate, so it's loaded up. But there's your total MSRP, $73,380. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, the rest of the rear. Let's set off. Setting off in the V90 Cross Country. It's a really nice vehicle. This is, you know, one of the last station wagons that you can buy brand new. And even though Volvo's kind of lifting it a little bit, making it more in that SUV territory, it's still got the station wagon look. Still a station wagon at the end of the day. But it's super nice car. So really comfortable seats. And, you know, they're pretty adjustable, so you can kind of figure out what works best for you. And, you know, the powertrain in this is not the most powerful, but I mean, it gets the car moving. It gets the car moving. But yeah, it definitely could have a little bit more get up and go to it, that's for sure, but it's not bad. Your ride quality is really good. It's just a comfortable vehicle you could put a ton of miles on. And the thing that's most impressive to me is I also have an S-Class demo this week, which, I mean, that's like the luxury car. And, you know, driving them back to back, of course the S-Class is more comfortable and all that. It's also a lot more expensive, but I'm not disappointed getting into this car. So I think that Volvo's done a really good job with the comfort on this. The fact that it doesn't feel disappointing getting into this after an S-Class, I don't know, I think that's pretty impressive if you ask me. And then aside from that, yeah, I think great fit and finish. Volvo does a good job with that. Just kind of a general, you know, more of an upscale feel to it. So I would say, you know, job well done on Volvo's part with this. So then you might be wondering, who's this car for? I think this car is for people that are realistic with themselves. Most people that buy SUVs don't actually need what an SUV is supposed to offer, right? SUVs originally were built to be more capable with off-road circumstances. That's why they're, you know, higher off the ground. That's why they've got space so that you can take stuff with you if you get stranded out in the middle of nowhere, right? So if you're like most SUV drivers where you never take your vehicle off-road, something like this makes more sense because it is lower to the ground, so it handles better. It has just as much space as the SUV, and it's also more comfortable than an SUV because, again, it's not higher up, it's lower down. And, you know, because of the fact that it's lower down, you don't have as much, you know, wallowing all over the place. And, you know, modern SUVs they're nice, don't get me wrong, but yeah, they just aren't on the same level as something like this in terms of handling and comfort and all of that. And so I would say that station wagons are for most people. Most people that need a practical car should be in a station wagon and not in an SUV. Because, again, if you're not off-roading, what's the point? So let me know what you guys think about the V90 Cross Country. But I think this is a great car. I think it's super underrated. And I think that if people were more realistic with themselves, they're a little bit smarter, then they would be rocking a station wagon. And they wouldn't be in that big old pickup truck or that big SUV that they... Again, they don't use the practicality of it. If you don't use the practicality of something, what's the point of buying it, right? Let me know your thoughts.